Was Shedeur Sanders cut from the Browns? Latest updates on rookie QB's roster status, trade rumors. Shedeur Sanders has garnered more attention before playing a regular season snap than any fifth-round pick in NFL history. And Tuesday is a big day for him and many other late-round draft picks. It's the NFL's roster cutdown day. Teams have to go from the enlarged summer rosters down to initial 53-man rosters ahead of the regular season. Nothing is a given for a player taken in the latter half of the draft. Yes, teams usually like to keep their rookies around and watch them develop. But the investment cost of a fifth-round pick isn't that high. There are no guarantees. Sanders had an up-and-down preseason filled with a good game, a bad game, an injury, and plenty of headlines. His main goal all along had to be one thing: make the Cleveland roster. Was Shedeur Sanders cut from the Browns? No, Shedeur Sanders has not been cut from the Cleveland Browns. The Browns could technically still cut him at any point through and beyond the 4 p.m. roster deadline. The 53-man roster that exists after the cutdown deadline is not set in stone. It's just an initial version of a team. There will still be plenty of roster movement in the days ahead. Sanders appears to be safe, though. Once the Browns traded Kenny Pickett to the Raiders on Monday night, it lessened the burden on a full QB room that now has 3 healthy quarterbacks instead of 4. Cleveland Browns QB depth chart. This is likely what the Browns QB depth chart looks like heading into Week 1. Joe Flacco, Dillon Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders. This doesn't include Deshaun Watson, who is under contract with the Browns and rehabbing a torn Achilles. Gabriel and Sanders, who went at picks 94 and 144, respectively, both could get chances to play as rookies. Roster cuts are always a storm of emotion, speculation, and calculation. A moment where a player's summer of sweat and film study either materializes into security or disappears into uncertainty. For Shedeur Sanders, the story this year carried even more weight. The son of Hall of Famer Deion Sanders, a standout at Colorado, and a rookie quarterback trying to find his footing in a league where headlines often travel faster than the ball. Throughout training camp and preseason, Shedeur's name was everywhere, in highlight reels, trade rumors, and analyst chatter. Fans debated his mechanics, praised his poise in certain moments, and criticized him in others. There were flashes of brilliance, throws that zipped perfectly into receivers' hands, scrambles that demonstrated awareness and athleticism, and the kind of calm in the pocket that hinted at the quarterback he could become. But there were also struggles, sacks, timing errors, and plays that fueled speculation about his readiness for the NFL stage. Rumors swirled. Would the Browns cut him? Would he be traded? Could he even survive the depth chart crunch that often swallows rookies whole? Then came the moves that answered the question more decisively than any speculation ever could. The Browns traded Kenny Pickett to the Las Vegas Raiders for a 2026 fifth-round pick, a strategic decision that removed a veteran competitor from the quarterback room. At the same time, Cleveland released Tyler Huntley, trimming the roster and simplifying the quarterback hierarchy. These moves shifted the roster's geometry. Joe Flacco remained as the starter, while 2 rookies, Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders, were kept as the team's backup options. In the arithmetic of NFL rosters, that was significant. Teams rarely carry 4 quarterbacks. Too many, and they risk sacrificing depth elsewhere on the roster. With Pickett gone, the Browns could maintain Flacco as the starter and develop their young signal callers without compromising roster flexibility. The trade and cuts didn't just free a spot, they created opportunity. For Shedeur, this meant not only making the roster but positioning himself to earn reps, learn the playbook, and grow under the guidance of veterans and coaches. Still, making the roster is only the beginning. The rumors and insider commentary didn't disappear. Analysts questioned his consistency, scouts dissected his mechanics, and social media amplified every misstep. Yet Shedeur faced it all with the focus of a player who understands that development in the NFL is incremental. Late-night throws, film study, footwork drills, the unseen work that doesn't make highlight reels but defines progress. The locker room, the practice field, the quiet hours after lights dimmed. That's where he fights the real battle, the one that ultimately decides a career more than any single preseason game ever could. Trade chatter will always be part of the narrative. Even though he made the roster, the NFL is fluid. Injuries, performance, and market needs can spark moves at any point during the season. For now, Shedeur remains a valued part of the Browns' plans, a developmental quarterback with potential, a roster spot to prove himself, and a chance to show that the flashes of talent he's displayed can become consistent performance. In essence, the story of Shedeur Sanders' 2025 roster status isn't a tale of being cut or not. It's a story of survival, opportunity, and the delicate calculus of an NFL team balancing veteran stability with rookie development. He wasn't cut. He's on the Browns roster. And now, like all rookies who make the final list, the work begins anew. To turn potential into production, speculation into certainty, and a roster spot into a career. Shedeur Sanders entered the 2025 NFL Draft with high hopes. Many analysts projected him as a potential first-round pick, given his impressive college career at Colorado. However, as the draft progressed, Sanders' name remained uncalled. Finally, in the 5th round, the Cleveland Browns selected him with the 144th overall pick. This selection raised eyebrows. Why had a quarterback with such promise fallen so far? Some speculated about concerns over his decision-making under pressure and his tendency to hold on to the ball too long. Others pointed to the crowded quarterback market, making it a buyer's market for teams looking to add depth at the position. Preseason performances and rising concerns. Upon joining the Browns, Sanders faced immediate competition. The team already had veteran Joe Flacco as the starter and rookie Dylan Gabriel as a promising backup. Sanders' path to the roster was not guaranteed. His preseason performances were a mixed bag. In his first game, he showcased his potential by throwing for 138 yards and 2 touchdowns. However, an oblique strain sidelined him for the next matchup. Upon his return, Sanders struggled significantly against the Los Angeles Rams, completing only 3 of 6 passes for 14 yards and taking 5 sacks. Such inconsistencies led to growing concerns among fans and analysts. ESPN analyst Dan Orlovsky highlighted recurring issues from Sanders' college days, such as holding the ball too long and poor decision-making under pressure. While Orlovsky acknowledged Sanders' dedication and work ethic, he noted that these challenges were correctable but would require time and development.